Flash, who are now in the standings below them. Definitely want to at least equalize that score right now. The Summoners with right there. VCS 20-23 split being there. And also Kyang and Artifact, right? I mean, they've picked a strong early game with Jungle Duo. They definitely need to do some work to really justify those pickups. I mean, they picked this Lee on B1 and got Book 1 to play Vigo yet again after he had such a stellar game 1. So I'm holding up my hopes high for them. And if not, I mean, could just be put in yet again, running away with the game in the mid game. Jinx kind of outscaling the Xayah in the late game, but maybe it doesn't even really get to this point, and maybe the Jinx also just falling prey to all the other top side pick for the side of Flash. I mean, Yoshino has a Malphite against the Jinx without really direct protection. Will just not be an easy game for Eddie to play here.
Yeah, it's gonna be Flash or nothing, and I very much enjoy seeing Yoshino adapting his runes, not just blindly picking the Comet, the Aerie. Picking up this Grasp of the Undying, because he knows he's up against a tank. He's just going to slap people in the face, and that's going to be a bit of trading back and forth on the top side. We're going to be happy to see that. And now on this bot side, can we maybe see the early fight for level 1, early fight for wave pressure from the side of Team Flash? Because if they can't really put the head into the bot lane directly, then they should actually miss out on pressure, but they seem to have gathered control despite everything. So,
right now, at least. I mean, we'll actually come forward. Jane.
Oh, Jane!
Jane destroyed Artifact. I mean, Artifact was like the MVP mid laner like a split or two ago, and him falling down to Jane would be very surprising in my opinion. With Jane not being quite a rookie, but also being relatively new to the scene, right? Definitely something that you wouldn't really want to see. As Artifact took a bad trade over there, probably just distorted into an empowered Spellflux Overload combo by the Wise. But Kyang is lurking in the bush, right? Jane doesn't have any vision of it, and if Jane feels too confident, would just get punished right there. But he probably also sees Kyang really just stepping through the mid lane. But he also just waited for this mid wave to get a bit further, so maybe he didn't even see him as the bot lane level 2. He didn't quite see it, but was looking in Eddie's control, of course. Jinx has to expend some mana for it with the rockets, but her AoE damage just edges out what Pudding can do on the Faith Riders in the early game. So that's not too big of a surprise right there.
Yeah, definitely. Just so kind of Pudding deciding not to actually contest that too hard, starting the queue, just for a bit more wave shove directly, but not actually trying to target the Jinx and go for a level 1 auto attack trade. It's a fair decision. It's a lot safer. Speaking of safety, Artifact's going to feel a lot better now that he has those chains in pocket and can use those, as Kyung's going to try to harass Fook, but doesn't land anything. Sora will land, and so will Suhao. So all the fighting is going through. Both ADCs taking a lot of damage. Pudding definitely coming out worse for
Fook one.
Sora walking onto some traps, but Fook is still in the area. Flash auto attack, the cleanse, and flash blown. How may just be the sacrifice. A beautiful hook, and his first blood to Fook 1. He doesn't even bother picking up the soul because he just wants to pick up Lee Sin. And it's a kill for Puddin on top of it all, and Sora somehow walks away to seal it off.
Yeah, 2-0 right there. Kyang just feels dirty, right? I mean, just now safeguarding in to save the play, and at the end of the day just makes it even worse. 2 kills picked up on side of Team Flash, not even Sora dying. Absolute disaster for them. The 2-for-2 being kind of stretched out, but Fook was just there a bit quicker, at least not really shining in these 3v3 situations really much. And also like Triumph being something that gets put to play for the side of Team Flash, which means 2 kills for them. I didn't quite see who's really getting those, as the Scuttle got secured by Fook 1. Then Fook 1 with a level lead can force Kyang away from the Scuttle Dome and forcing the flash in from Lee Sin, so that was something that was definitely lacking right there. And Fook 1 being there instantly, charging up. So also they let her go for the flash stabbing blow, and here Eddie can't really land the damage. The dredge line lands, Blade Caller back for the side of Puddin, and Puddin just being there with the damage. Did he actually get both kills right there? It's an absolute disaster for Team Secret.
Fook gets one, Puddin gets the other, so it's pretty much perfect for the spread of Team Flash. And we've seen Artifact getting kind of bullied around by Jane. He's been able to find this splash on the Spellflux, but Artifact finally finding something back of his own, being able to land some chains. And if you do land those chains against Ryze, there's very little Ryze can do about it, because your chain range outranges Ryze altogether. So you can get a lot of free damage if you land that setup correctly.
Good pathing from Jane.
You see Kyung trying.
Yeah.
Kyung trying to maybe make something happen.
Yeah, tries to look for an angle, but Jane correctly steps away down to the south side where his wards is, where his team is, so Kyung wasn't having any of those one. Jane overextending quite a bit there, but actually being low mana and just stepping to the correct position makes it kind of inevitable that he gets out alive of the situation. Artifact with a tiny CS lead, but not the end of the world, should fall down those few minions on the side of Wise. I mean, they are scaling quite nicely. We also see Kratos being quite dominant against Yoshino at the first few levels, but Malphite against Cassandra is a very rough matchup. Malphite being the tank without really any kill pressure can't do anything against the Cassandra, while the Cassandra absolutely has kills pressure, especially if he is all out skilled in his arsenal, and he is level 6 right now, so definitely not something where Yoshino can do much and just lose as gracefully as possible, and so far he absolutely does.
Yep, he's only down about a wave. He's going to quickly find a teleport back now. And I do think there is an opportunity for the Malphite to win a 1v1 and get that kill threat down. As Sora finds a bush gank onto Sugal, that is going to be just absolutely cleaned up. A lot committed, but I did it on the end of the dragon, so everything works out perfectly fine. And that's just a free pick.
It is, and Juho definitely doesn't need to step up the far. I mean, there was no really any business for him. He also knows that Drake is being done right now, and also just not falling prey to this well mob engage, which might not even have been necessary right there, just instantly eating the dredge line and now getting this second turret blade, even zoning away Eddie from the wave so he can't get those last hit minions, or not even the experience range out of it, just now getting to clean them up, using the zap just to secure the minion. It's just so brutal, and Team Secret so far absolutely swimming in this game. If they are even swimming, they might just be drowning.
Yeah, we've got Jane pretty much realm mobbing in just to steal that kill for himself, get him accelerated, get him running ahead, and now Fook is going to maybe pay some attention to the top side. Again, it shouldn't be super possible to kill Kratos unless he goes in first with the all out and then gets ulted by the Malphite and maybe has things turned around when he's no longer a tank. But we're gonna see how it plays out so far. Just still that small lead for Kratos, a small lead for Artifact, but the jungle is just getting absolutely outclassed, as is the bot lane. That's so much gold for the side Team Flash, and Fook just feels extremely comfortable to take this as Yoshino finds a moment to push out the wave.
Yeah, it's just small two victories on the side of Team Secret, and it's just the solo lanes, but they just should win naturally in the early game, so there's not really much of anything to write home about here. I mean, just one wave in the mid lane, one in the top lane, doesn't really mean much when you're just down so much gold in the bot lane. The first wake being down, the first herald being down, Fukwon just running circles around Kyung, or not even running circles around him, just straight up running at him and just forcing him to flash out, as we have seen at this one Scarlet Crab fight before we saw the first really breakout skirmish into the game. So now 9 minutes in, Team Flash almost 3,000 gold up as soon as they get a good Rift Herald charge down, and I mean, it just feels so inviting to just get this bot lane further ahead. I mean, just now we see it's just a bit more than a wave for Puddin, just the kill we had on earlier, as well as the assists, and the bot lane from Team Secret now recalling, so this is just an easy way for Puddin, for Fukwon to just go to Puddin and just drop this Herald down there. The turret would be almost gone from that alone.
Yeah, they have to get that wave into Crash, and we currently see Kyung making his way down there, wanting to try and prevent that play from Team Flash happening. It's not quite gonna come out just yet. So we see the jungler, we see Sora and Fukwon linking up around this mid lane, wanting to make something happen. Zenith Blade goes wide, and we're gonna actually just see a bit of a reset coming through for Pudding. Now he has his mythic, so does Fukwon. They're gonna feel a lot more comfortable being aggressive on that push and trying to force down that bot lane now, I think, given their new item advantage.
Absolutely, with the item power spikes being there, Gale Force being there for the Zarya. She's definitely just being a stronger mid-game carry than Jinx, even on even items, but now with her being far ahead will just mean that the next few minutes it will just be avoid as many fights as possible instead of Team Secret. Your AD carry is very far behind. Jane also losing very gracefully on its Wise pick means he just knows the Catalyst going straight for this one of Aegis by will be very strong if he finishes that one, and Jen just gets to scale for 10 more minutes. But Team Flash, of course, while they are in the lead, they shouldn't just face check anything. So Sora just now being covered by his jungler to secure this one ward, and that instantly being taken away means no further vision control for them. But just now, maybe the time to go for forcing the flash.
Yeah.
Actually, good play by Artifact.
Forces the.
You can't just get snared within the wave up. Yeah.
Yeah, the realm warp would have been cancelled, and that would have probably been death with Zuhao lurking on the corner. But it gives some space for Puddin to get this crash, get this Rift Herald. Can't quite clean up the tower on this wave, but Jane is coming for the lane gank, teleport to the bot lane tower. They are going to get this.
They will get this turret.
They say.
Eddie and Joe know that this turret is just fake protection, right? I mean, if they just stay in this turret, you either get dove or the turret just gets cleaned up either way, and then you just get killed in a 3v2. So just step away from it. Accept the losses. It's actually one of the more commendable plays from Team Secret, as well as that one solo play we just now saw from Artifact, where they at least from behind make the correct decision and just go for as much as they possibly could. But this just now means, of course, for Team Flash, them playing out the lead correctly, reward them the second break of the game with this hex tech break being taken. So let me see which soul it will be. Will be potentially a chem soul for them. Arguably not the strongest soul of them all, but every soul is really freaking strong. So we actually, as casters, I think this might just be a good opportunity for this, as we are two color casters. I think we shouldn't discuss too much about which soul is how strong, because every soul is a win condition on its own. So Team Flash snowballing this quickly is definitely something that Team Secret has to take care for.
I do say this is an unlucky soul for Team Flash, because it is the worst soul to have when ahead.
Anyway,
I have to hold that because Yoshino has found a good angle. They flash in to try and turn it around, but we're still waiting for the ultimate. Malphite goes in. That's going to be a removal. Fook just narrowly wins. Kyung will fall. Can we find an angle for the Viego to re-engage? No, LeBlanc will find one, but trade it off. And now Fook can heal off these souls. And it's a big cleanup for the side of Team Flash. Fook is still chasing onto Artifact. This might be a bit too far.
Don't do that, please.
But still a huge win for the side of Flash.
Absolutely. Yoshino also finding this great Malphite angle. Actually, Yoshino, he could have played for a 2-man ult, but Yoshino played very patiently there, and here we see the replay again. Like he could just ult right there and hit 2 people, maybe even 3, but he just waits for the right amount to hit those 2 in the backline as they use their mobility spells, so he definitely has a guaranteed hit on that one. Fook one just now escaping nearly with the triumph being there. He had a burn on him, so he could just barely survive. Jane body blocking the Jinx rocket and just getting this triple kill right there in this enclosed corridor. The Wise just needs so much more than a LeBlanc. She can only hit a single target. Wise can hit them all at once, and Team Flash definitely being favored in general due to the huge gold lead so far. And I don't quite know what Team Secret really wanted to go for there. I mean, it was just a red buff steal attempt from them. But why are you going for this? But you are not 4k up, you're 4k down. Just why go for this fight? You can just scale next to them and just hope to really equalize the game in the longer run. Because Team Flash will make mistakes. We saw that last game. And they just play cocky in a position where they don't really deserve to be in this situation whatsoever.
And now 3 assists sort of brings Yoshino back to parity. He was getting beaten around a bit by Kratos, but now has some assists. That should even up some of the CS, some of the turret plates that were taken, and we can start to move the spot lane around. It's a 4-0 rise on the side of Team Flash. They are so strong right now. Hook narrowly misses as the setup comes for the second Rift Herald. Yoshino has teleport, but he's just walking his way up now, trying to save that. Kratos cannot join a fight if it begins. Look for Yoshino.
Wait, Sora?
He has ult. There's Eddie. Eddie is gonna get absolutely crushed.
No.
He's gonna flash away. Sora actually gonna get turned back on. The resets now for Eddie. Ultimate out from Yoshino. They didn't all commit. Say that.
And why did Sora go for it? Just get PayPal or something, because that Hex Flash was such a telegraphed play. You can fight many fights on Celestine Flash because you are so far ahead, but you can't really fight in this mid lane corridor where the turret is still standing. So this means 1 kill for the side of them. They just fight again on this exact spot. Flash, please don't.
Yeah.
No.
There's. They thought they could catch Team Secret, split up, but it gets them to come off the Rift Herald. But they're just going to turn straight back onto it, so it doesn't really matter.
And it's already a bounty for Team Secret because they are so far down. At least they stop this Herald for now instead of Team Flash. But I think they just give it up anyway, as we see Fuquan going for this wrap-up invade right now, kind of scraping their losses in the situation. That they just now went for 2 very questionable skirmishes, I gotta say. At least seal away as much from the enemy jungle as you can, while you know that Kiang is on the Swift Herald on the top side. Just now the second Rift Herald being secured. Due to no platings being there, it will not net them that much cash aside from the bounty and the Rift Herald base gold. But if you just now happen to crack down another turret, it could just be a small comeback play for the side of Team Secret. I mean, they can just easily secure this top lane outer turret. Yoshino not enough to just defend 1v2 here against the Herald push. So Team Secret with a small win in this game.
Yeah, just gonna have to gonna get that turret. That's gonna be more gold, more bounties going over to the side of Team Secret, and that should bring the gold back pretty close, back to within 3,000 gold. That's very much what they wanted to. That's very much what they needed. They pretty much halved the gold lead that Team Flash had off of that play. Now there's an Archangel Staff complete for Jane, so power spikes are still being hit for Team Flash, just in time. Importantly for this dragon, gonna see if Yoshino can make an impact this time around, because he kind of just waddled past and ulted away. That previous encounter.
And Flash wants this soul point very badly. They TP into this one. And they are positioning around this. Where Yoshino TPs onto something where he can easily get CC'd. But he's Yoshino. He's very tanky on this Malphite pickup. And always finds good old angles right here. Artifact looking in the flank to maybe get 1 pick. And the way can just be started by Team Flash. And now if the fight ensues, it will just be good for them. Artifact not really being in there. And Flash probably just washing it down.
Okay.
Putting securing this Drake, so it will be that soul point. They can just re-engage it if they want to, but do they really want to is my question. They don't.
Yoshino can't really find his angle, gets slowed up, and
maybe that again.
It's actually the Soul Flare. It's Team Secret looking to engage. They go on to putting
Yoshino
as that ultimate. Yoshino gets a huge knock up, and Jane can clean it up. They pick up 2 instantly, and now they're looking to chase. Can they find any more? Realm Warp's gonna help lock down Su Hao. Fook will find that one. Maybe, probably not, but they will find Artifact. Never mind. He can't. He tries his best, and Jane picks up 2 more. That's a wipe, as Kratos will get picked up. Kratos gonna fall down there. Triple kill for Jane. 2 turrets in the mid lane as well. And the only way you could top this off is a Baron, but they can't because it hasn't spawned.
That's just always stopping from Baron there. Baron not being spawned, it's still lurking below the rift as we see in the spectator tool if we ever happen to look this way. Either way, Team Flash finds that they can just easily rush it down. And the engage not really being forced by the side of Team Flash, but Secret actually choosing this fight, engaging kind of deeply in this one, as we will probably see a replay of that one. And Yoshino, such a huge unstoppable force coming into the back line, easily followed by Fuquan with the Heartbreaker as well, and all the damage the Vego can really do at this stage of the game. And Team Secret easily dropping 2 bodies there means Reset Cindy can come through, as here we see the play again. The chains and the rocket really coming through pretty early on. Featherstorm early to cleanse out the CC coming through, and here 3-man angle for the side of Yoshino. So much damage, especially with Jane also kind of being the damage carry in this fight. Fuquan getting 1 kill, Jane with the other, and they just chase the play with the Realm Orb as well. Zhuhao is tanky on the Leona, but not tanky enough to just fall prey to both Jane and of course Fuquan. Here Jane with 1 kill, has so much movement speed on the face wash, can just flash forward for the other, and now Kratos was like the only one who kind of was surviving. But even the tanky Gisante, if there's 5 men around him, the turret isn't really doing much protection to you. So it was a 5-0 plus a Drake for Team Flash. It is soul point now for them. They are 6k gold ahead. And I mean, Chemtech, so we can argue how strong it really is. Especially on someone like Viego. I mean, even the Rod of Ages Rise can't really get 1 shot though. Definitely a high value soul for them. They could maybe be stronger souls, but this one definitely would be very strong for them.
Yeah, I mean, the usual, the sort of thing against it is when you're ahead, you're not dropping down to 50% health. I you see, Artifact is just getting crushed and Jane takes no damage. It's gonna realm warp away. Does not feel quite as safe as he actually was, but it's all going great for Team Flash as they have just got to sit up and make control of this Baron. They have 2 items on Jane. He will very quickly finish up that Rod of Ages in the next minute. They have 2 items on Pudding. They have just so much Baron damage if they get to sit on it. That Team Secret has to be so careful. Kratos and Kyung pushing forward. Another tower falls.
Yeah, this being the Baron dance. Being something that Yoshino can easily play with his Malphite pickup. He's just such a great engaged to in Team Flash.
Yeah, what are you doing?
As they are so far. And yeah, why is Kiragen over there? You listen. I mean, of course, he's mobile. He can maybe fight it in good insect angle. And actually, this might just be that desperation coming out of them, right? They just really need to have a good kick onto Yoshino, maybe onto Jane to really fight this angle as his team fight before it is too late. As Pullin is very far forward, but it's probably not mattering. Jane is 8-0 on this rise, 1 minute away from completing Word of Ages plus Seraph combination, and even without it, he was already very strong. I think it might be game over right now as he hits a 10th stack right there, hits level 14 to level 12 of Artifact. He's 2 levels ahead of him. And now Baron can be started by them. And it's just such a huge gold experience. Drake lead everything. Team Flash has absolutely everything, and if they can just force a fight, Team Secret is done.
There it is, a hook onto Kratos. He will be able to try and dash away, but there's just so much. They don't actually lock him down, but they keep the Baron leashed. Kratos is going to have to back. He can teleport back in. And Sora's just still looking for another hook. This one misses. The Rune Prison will land. Young always looking for that angle. Team Flash maybe wanting to let the Baron reset a bit. Now the engage goes in. It's a big pullback from Kratos, but he's just left to the wolves. Artifact has exploded instantly, and now with that victory in the team fight, it's a scatter for Team Secret. They might try and pick up something in the mid lane, but
they won't.
No, they're just paralyzed with indecision.
It's also sad for them, right? In 10 seconds the Chemtech Soul Drake would spawn. It's just too late to just rush it down. The reset time is off Team Flash, but now Team Flash has enough time to just either go for the reset or just chase them away here. And this is absolutely just what they will do. So it will be Baron and the Chem Soul and the 2 kills being picked up for them. It's like Christmas and birthday combined for them. As Team Secret, for whatever reason, try to find a half-attempted fight into the Baron pit right there, where they definitely didn't have a chance. I think the best chance is to just look for a Baron steal, or maybe just find a good pickup right there, and they just kind of engage into what couldn't really work out for them. I was very baffled by that decision, as Team Flash rightfully punished them, and is now, yeah, basically ahead everywhere. I mean, I said it before, but now it's even better for them. They get both global buffs with the Baron and the Chem Soul. They're almost 10,000 gold up, and this should be a 2-0 finish for them. And they need to do not 1, not 2, maybe like 3 major mistakes to lose this game now.
Well, maybe they only need the 1 major mistake in 5 minutes with 5.5 minutes with that Elder Drake. That
should be an Elder Drake.
That's the only one you ever really truly need. But
that should be an Elder Drake.
Team Flash should be able to push it down. That was an ultimate. Certainly one of the Malphite ults of all time. It still takes him a long time to die, thanks to that Chem Soul. But it's not really going to amount to much. Zuhao, however, dies a lot quicker. So does Qiyang. And now 2 for 1 in the extended play. That's going to be a great setup for Team Flash to marry these waves into the base.
Yeah, that's one of those major mistakes I was speaking of, with Yoshino dying right there. But even if he does, like, even if he makes this major mistake, it probably doesn't matter, because as soon as Qiyang or Zhao is facing anything, they just easily just get ripped apart by the damage from pulling on the Zaya right now. So even this one was a 2 for 1 for them in the extended play. They lose this inner turret on the bot lane, and will probably lose more. 1 more minute on this Baron buff for the side of Team Flash. They can also just now recall to base and shop. They should have a lot of gold in their pockets, as we see in the replay again how Yoshino got caught out right there. Was a bit too confident there. The chain gets landed. He just escapes in a direction where he shouldn't escape to. He should just escape towards his team and not away from his team, because his team can then actually help him. That's such a basic concept, right? But apparently wasn't too obvious for Yoshino in this instance. Maybe he also was just too confident to just accept that even with Kemsel and that lead, that they can easily just get picked apart, even on a Malphite. But I mean, Zhuhao and Qiyang returning the favor, so it is a 2 for 1 for them. Still a winning play overall, but this should have been at least a small win for Team Secret, and it ended up not being one. So it's very sad for them, and still for them, a game where the lights are probably very much out. A few seconds left on the Baron buff. This will likely still net them this top lane inner turret. But them not cracking the base is kind of almost surprising for me, because the Elder might spawn in this game.
Yeah, I think the sort of pick off onto Yoshino kind of interrupted their ability to set up the lanes properly the way they would have wanted to crack open the base. But now they have all turrets outside the base down. They have that soul. That's never going to go away. And if they can play these lanes correctly, they should be able to maybe find enough pressure to crack one open. The wave clear is pretty good from Eddie. He's getting closer to that Lord Dominic's Regard, which will do a very, very healthy amount of damage for the side of Team Secret. They desperately need that to come through. Artifact can't really commit wave clear into a group because he has to throw his whole body at it, so they really just need Eddie to get the damage going because he is their main source of wave clear. Just gonna see how these waves crash, because right now they're choking out Team Secret. They're not letting them get anything but the waves.
Yeah.
It's not the best siege for Flash.
It's not, but also like the wave clear is like not insanely done. Wait, Kratos gets picked up, Kratos dies. Kratos is the tank, but not tanky enough to all the damage coming through. And that was right before, with the Chem Soul being on their side. They don't have the Baron buff, so wave clear is not terrible. I just wanted to address this one. Jinx also needs a few seconds to really clear the wave. So this will be inhibitor at least, if not more. They might just go for 2 inhibitors. That would be easier to siege in the Nexus turrets itself. But they just now are okay with 1 inhibitor turret, or 1 inhibitor in general. And may just look for more picks. It's very dangerous for Team Secret to step up any further than those baselines itself. Kratos still being down. But Team Flash playing it controlled, playing it slow. I mean, they are in no rush at all. I mean, even the potential Elder for the side of Team Secret wouldn't really scoff them too much, as Team Secret, I mean, they can't really start the Elder, right? If they start the Elder, then Team Flash either just kills them in a team fight, maybe steals the Elder, or just runs through the base and ends the game. Because the Elder still needs like some time to really go down, and Team Secret can't really be the one on the forcing issue. Team Secret's best chance would be like to steal an Elder and then win a fight, but Team Flash just doesn't even have to start the Elder. They can just ignore this objective completely and just go for the next Baron.
Yeah, Baron's going to be up in 30 seconds. That gives them a nice window. There's that nice buffer between spawns that they can pick up the Baron and leave and give Secret no opportunity to try and make that trade for the Elder. And with that Baron in hand, they should be able to crack open the rest of the base, make the push for the end. Unless Team Secret steps a bit far forward. That's kind of what they need to. What we're hoping for. If you're Team Flash, you're hoping for Team Secret to just give you the opening that you don't need this Baron. You can just walk it in. Now, Baron on the table, Sora and Jane can kind of just stand there and be menacing. Yoshino looking for an angle.
He's just standing there, menacingly. Team Secret can't really approach him. 12,000 gold down, the soul down, now the Baron down as well. And this game just now looking like a formality for Team Flash. If it hasn't looked like this before, I mean, kind of didn't really change the ramifications in the bigger picture. But I like Team Flash really going for the score this time right now. Would hate that now with them starting off the Elder, but can I really fault them that much for it? I mean, Kiang isn't about the area. I don't think you need this Elder necessarily, but you can maybe just look for a pick on Kiang, because Kiang kind of has to ignore it, but can't really ignore it. He's kind of in a very tough situation. He's now dead.
Yeah.
Now you can go for the Elder.
They managed to track him down, and now the Elder's a freebie. And then with the Baron, with the Soul, with the Elder Drake, Exodia is now complete, and they can just walk at Team Secret and say, "All right, do something about it."
Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? I mean, if Team Flash doesn't win this without dropping like a kill, maybe onto Sora would be fine, but in general, if they give Team Secret any chance at this should be a warning sign for them to spin it this way. Because you just now have all the buffs you could possibly have. This should just be a clean walk into the base. Nexus turrets are already on the target. The wave is very thin, but here's a desperation engage coming through. Featherstorm quickly though.
That's the final engage. It's all they can do to try and delay, but instant death for Su Hao. They can't find anything. They need and they need an amazing kick onto Puddin. They need to knock him out of the fight instantly. It's another hook onto Kyung, instantly half health. The turrets are falling, and maybe Team Secret just watches it go. Zuhao tried, but it was never going to work. And now they're going to go in. Now they're going to give some more kills to the side of Flash. Fook does die as he goes onto the fountain, but that is all. Team Flash with the